It's worse when we're talking about or hearing speculation about you fighting somebody that literally fights 3 weight divisions lower than you.
Very excited. You know, this is the biggest fight of my career if it happened, and I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo's just too big for Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford is another, amazing fighter.
Stephen A. Smith has issued a strong warning to Terence Crawford during a live interview, voicing his disapproval of Crawford's upcoming fight with Canelo Alvarez. Smith made it clear that he hates the matchup, calling it a terrible idea. He argued that Crawford is naturally 3 weight classes smaller than Canelo and simply not big enough to handle the challenge. Emphasizing the potential danger, Smith urged Crawford to reconsider, warning that the significant size and power difference could put him at serious risk.
Reaction to the idea of Crawford versus Canelo?
I hate it. I don't like it one bit. I think that Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. I think that Canelo is one of those folks. But Canelo is fighting at 168, which means he's walking around heavier.
Former world champion Amir Khan, who fought Canelo Alvarez in 2016, has issued a stark warning to Terence Crawford. Khan admitted he underestimated the impact of the weight difference, describing Canelo as a beast in the ring. Reflecting on the experience, Khan said he now fully understands why weight classes exist.
Canelo's a beast, man. Canelo's a beast. And when it was offered to me, I tried to chase Amir with a fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career there as well. So, whoever I was going to fight, I was going to give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were winning that fight against Canelo, taking him out. Yeah. But, yeah, I was boxing well. But one thing, sizes. Now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing. Every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. That's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A boxing fight, yeah.
What do you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better.
Boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. didn't hesitate to share his thoughts. Terence Crawford should not face Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. Chavez predicted that Crawford would get knocked out for sure. While he respects Crawford's skill, Chavez believes Canelo is simply too strong and powerful at super middleweight. Coming from someone with decades of experience in the sport, his warning carries serious weight.
Dinero y Canelo lo van a odiar.
The 2 fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is going to knock him out.
Despite the warnings, Terence Crawford remains confident. He has publicly stated that he's faced opponents bigger than Canelo before and believes his superior skills will prevail. According to Crawford, Canelo's main advantage lies in size, not technique. This unwavering self-belief is part of what makes Crawford special to fans. He's never backed down from a challenge and always bets on himself to find a way to win. However, as many experts have pointed out, stepping in against Canelo at 168 pounds could be an entirely different challenge.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
So would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just... I'm
just saying, man.
No, but he's not Kovalev.
Kovalev was older. And he does, don't get me wrong, he does have a lot of power. But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo?
tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always have respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
In a live interview, Smith issued a firm warning, stating that Terence Crawford is simply too small to take on Canelo Alvarez. He emphasized that Crawford would need to jump 3 weight classes, a leap that history has shown rarely benefits the smaller fighter. Despite Crawford's exceptional skill set, Smith warned that the size difference could prove dangerous. He needs to let it go, Smith said bluntly, adding that even if Crawford manages to land clean shots, he might not have the power to hurt Canelo.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Renowned coach Joel Diaz didn't mince words either, calling the idea of Crawford beating Canelo stupid. He highlighted the significant size difference and reminded fans that Canelo has already defeated elite-level super middleweights and even light heavyweights. From a trainer's perspective, Diaz views this as a clear mismatch, one that, in his opinion, would not end well for Crawford.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Sean Garcia echoed these concerns, acknowledging Crawford's brilliance as a boxer, but warning that Canelo's size and experience present a nearly insurmountable challenge. No matter how good Crawford is, Canelo is just too big, Garcia stated. Stephen A. Smith, while recognizing Crawford's elite skills and historic dominance at welterweight, posed a crucial question. Can he even hurt Canelo? He suggested that even if Crawford performs well from a technical standpoint, it won't matter if he can't physically impact Canelo. Without the punching power to earn Canelo's respect, Crawford could be walking into a punishing fight.
You know what? I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. Don't believe he can hurt Canelo. Just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, he can't keep him off him. He says it's a legacy fight. He believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez, which is why we haven't really seen him in the ring against anybody else. Fortunately, that's the business of boxing. He's a victim of it, not a villain.
Promoter Eddie Hearn described the potential matchup as a freak fight. While he expressed respect for both fighters, he cautioned that the significant size difference makes the bout feel more like a spectacle than a legitimate contest. Hearn believes that even if Crawford performs well, the public might not give him the credit he deserves due to the obvious size mismatch. Conversely, if Canelo wins, Many might dismiss it as a fight. He was always expected to win.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he
Yeah.
might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
One weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35, 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Trainer Robert Garcia took a different angle, stating that many fans simply don't want to see this fight. He believes the boxing community would rather see Crawford face an opponent closer to his size or a top contender at 154 or 160 pounds. According to Garcia, this matchup feels forced and lacks the natural competitiveness that makes great fights memorable.
I want to see Crawford versus Canelo. I think people are going to go, that's too much, moving up 2 more weight divisions, 2 more. Thank you. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think that'll bring that much attention anymore, because I think if people go out there and destroy this guy, then okay, he can move up and fight against Canelo, but I think it'll be hard for people to buy that, that he could fight somebody like Canelo, because Canelo's just too big. That's 2 weight divisions.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult offered a chilling perspective, recalling the sound and power behind Canelo's punches that he's experienced up close. He doesn't believe Crawford could withstand that kind of force. Despite Crawford's exceptional skills and toughness, Showbiz highlighted that the punch resistance required at 168 pounds is vastly different from what Crawford is used to at 147. One clean shot from Canelo, he warned, could change everything.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah, Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. When you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great that he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Is that what you said?
That's why Canelo feels the lead.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my books come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'm going to empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'm going to empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was going to bet on Crawford thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
In a back-and-forth discussion with veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael, Stephen A. Smith reiterated his doubts about Crawford winning the fight. However, Raphael argued that Crawford wouldn't take this fight just for a cash grab. He would genuinely try to win. That said, even Raphael acknowledged that it would be a tough task for Crawford, and he would need to fight the perfect fight to stand chance.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A. almost looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hyped about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over at round 1, or there might have been so much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent in Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Former super middleweight champion Carl Frock criticized the matchup, stating that it wouldn't be a good fight. Frock believes the size and strength gap between Crawford and Canelo is simply too large, and that Crawford won't be able to compete effectively against someone with Canelo's physical stature. Frock warned that fans expecting an epic showdown might end up disappointed.
Las Vegas, now that is a fight that I'm expecting to be very good. I think it's going to be tough for Crawford. He's not big enough, I don't think. He's just not got that side. Don't get me wrong, he'll stack some pounds on and he'll grow. He's obviously bigger than his fight weight, but Canelo Alvarez has been up at light heavyweight. I know he's been up at, light heavyweight. He beat Kovalev. And then he's dropped back down now to super middle because he's probably not big enough for light heavyweight, lost to Bivol, and he's probably realised, actually, that's probably a step too far. But Terence Crawford, was he 147 pound, one of the best to do it in the business. But to come up, we know what it's like when people come up from welterweight and try and succeed a couple of weight divisions above their weight. It's tough, it's difficult.
Despite all the criticism and concerns, Terence Crawford still wants the fight. Many fans support him, drawn to the idea of greatness and the challenge Crawford has always embraced. For him, this fight could be the chance to cement his legacy if he somehow pulls off the impossible. It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario that has captivated boxing fans around the world.
I just feel if Terence Crawford's going to have a fight again, and I look at the options on the table, there's no one he wants to fight 154 pounds. There isn't. He doesn't want to fight Fundora. He's not going to fight Virgil Ortiz. He's not going to fight Boychuk. These aren't sexy names. These are just not names that he even gets out for a jog for. The only name he wants to fight is Canelo. So for me, I feel like I'm more closer to Crawford fighting than Crawford not fighting. And if Crawford's going to fight, then it has to be Canelo. But look, we'll see. That's a dream one for me. I think I said that on my wish list for 2025. I said Crawford, Canelo. I think all the others will come true. I just want this one to come true. It's a crazy fight. There's almost too much weight between the two, but I agree. Hey, this is boxing.
Heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua offered an optimistic view, acknowledging the size difference, but emphasizing that what truly matters is who wants it more. In his eyes, if Crawford is motivated, focused, and trains the right way, he could still surprise people. Joshua believes Crawford has a point to prove, and that motivation could drive a performance beyond expectations.
Canelo. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the catchweight stuff, but I feel like there's no rehydration clause, is there? No, so that would be good. And then I feel like Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. showed us that weight is good. Like, there are weight categories for a reason, but providing they're both skilled and talented, there's not much difference in weight. It's just who wants to win. And watching that fight, Conor Benn and Chris Eubank just showcased that weight it's all about that. So I'm looking forward to the Crawford and Canelo fight because I feel like Bud wants to prove a point. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be a good fight. Bud just over there a second ago to me. Calling him Bud like I know him, but Terence Crawford was just over there to me.
Boxing legend Oscar de la Hoya delivered one of the most well-known truths in the sport. A good small man doesn't beat a good big man. While he respects Crawford's talent, de la Hoya believes the odds are stacked against him. In boxing, size, power, and durability usually prevail, and Canelo possesses all three in abundance.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who? Oscar being back in New York over here. No, let's just say Canelo Crawford.
in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it. Let's
And
get it.
if you see Thursdays, back Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out.
Teofimo Lopez, known for his sharp analysis, praised Canelo's ring IQ and physical advantages. He believes Crawford is elite, but emphasized that facing someone with Canelo's combination of intelligence, experience, and power will be incredibly difficult, especially a higher weight class where Crawford has never competed.
Crawford, Canelo, who you got? Crawford, Canelo? I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yeah.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should try test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog. He's got shot in the head and drove to the hospital, so maybe that's just his mentality.
Hey, let's see. Only one way to find out till that day comes.
It's the only way, but I definitely think that it's a great fight overall. You know, black and brown is how you get down.
Canelo Alvarez's record and resume are unmatched. He has fought and beaten world champions across multiple divisions, most recently adding another world title to his collection by defeating Caleb Plant. Whether that specific detail is verified or not, the fact remains that Canelo has proven himself time and again as a dominant force, particularly at 168 pounds. Facing him is a tall order for anyone, especially a welterweight moving up in weight.
Bud versus Canelo, based on last fight, is a 50-50. So Canelo fights an undisputed champ, up-and-coming former champion, and an up-and-coming undefeated contender. And somehow those three last opponents are somehow compared to Bud's the Dream Off fight, making it a 50-50 fight?
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned for more engaging content coming your way soon.